Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sky. I am the CEO of Create Your Own Reality Media, where I help remind people that growth can be both strong and powerful. So today we're going to be going over 5 takeaways from the book The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Now, first and foremost, the compound effect is a principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart actions. So pretty much what that means is that everything or every action, every effort that you make, it doesn't have to be something huge, it doesn't have to be something grand, right? As long as it aligns with the things that you're doing, with your goals, with your aspirations, with your career, whatever that looks like for you, the more you take small, consistent actions towards that thing, the more rewards you're going to see. So if you instead just kind of, do a whole bunch of things that are opposite of that, of course, you're not going to see those results that you're looking for because you're not actually working towards that thing. So again, it's just to say that you don't have to do anything major either. So you don't have to, spend a bunch of money in order to kind of see the benefit of something, or you don't have to hire a whole bunch of people just to see a return on your investment. There are small things that you can do, regardless of what field, what venture, what career it is that you're in, or the thing that you're trying to do. There are small actions that you can take to actually start getting those really big benefits and those really big rewards from it as well. The second takeaway is you don't need new information. You need a plan of action. Man, I think this is something I struggle with a lot, especially being a multi-passionate person, creative, all the things. It's so hard for me to just really focus in on one thing when there are so many things that, again, I'm really passionate about or I really care about. So, man, I think the best way to look at this is, again, just kind of going back to the first point, just figure out what one thing is that you really want to focus on. And you don't need to gather up all of the information. You don't need to know every little single detail in regards to what it is that you're trying to do, because you're going to learn along the way. You really just need to get started. You need to get started working on that thing, working towards that end goal, which is where the plan of action comes in. If you don't have a plan of action, if you don't have a schedule, if you don't have, times that you're actually putting in to work on that thing or towards that goal, it's unfortunately you're not going to be able to get to that point because you're not putting in the proper time. Now, for me and myself, again, I can get so overwhelmed sometimes in having to feel like I need every single little detail of everything, which is also another thing that holds me back a lot, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But yeah, I think something that I'm trying to work on a lot right now myself and just moving into the new year is this phrase specifically. Just really focusing on having more of an action plan and just using the things that I already know. And of course, we learn as we grow, right? So the more I work on these things with the knowledge that I have, the more things I'm going to learn on my way. So I think that one is really important to always remember as well. Third takeaway. What motivates you is the ignition of your passion, the source of your enthusiasm, and the fuel of your persistence. Now, those are all pretty big words if you just take them without anything else. But I think they're all very important as well, right? Because, of course, let's start out with passion. The passion is that fire inside of you, that feeling that you're going to need to have, especially when working towards a really big goal. Because if you don't have the passion for that thing that you're working on, there's no way there's going to be anything else that you need in order to get to that goal. So I think passion is a great way to start. Again, that way we can actually build off of that to help those other things progress as well. Now, once we have that passion and you're actually doing something that you love, the enthusiasm pretty much goes hand in hand with that, right? Because you're really excited, you're enthusiastic about what it is that you're doing, you're looking forward to the next day, you're looking forward to the things that you're doing. You're not just, again, doing something because you have to or doing something because that's what somebody told you to do. It's really the thing that you care about that you're actually taking the time and putting the time into. And of course, that's where persistence comes in as well, because we have to make sure that we're doing those things consistently and on a persistent basis to eventually, again, reap those results that you're looking for. So, of course, motivation is really crucial, but I think persistence at the end of the day is a little bit more important, because if you don't have that persistence and that consistency and that determination, motivation can only get you so far. Trust me, I spent a long time just, being extremely motivated about things, but not actually putting in the right amount of work, and it didn't get me very far. Just remember that what motivates you is the ignition of your passion, the source of your enthusiasm, and the fuel for your persistence. The fourth takeaway is the best way to increase the potential for whatever traits you desire is to spend a majority of your time with people who already possess those traits. Now, this one, oh man, I mean, these are all so important because they're really the foundations of getting yourself ready for success, getting yourself to a really good base foundation. That way, again, you can just keep leveling up. So, this is something that I don't want to say been struggling with lately, but it's something that I have been, really considering a lot more than usual. I think, like, one thing that I really want to do, or find rather, in this upcoming year is just like a really solid community of like-minded people, whether that be just content creators, small business owners, whatever the realm is. So I have more like-minded people to connect with, people that, maybe are just starting off, people that have been doing it for a while, to get all those kind of different levels of perspective and motivation, and yeah, just things like that. But all that to say, if the traits that you desire are traits that, a big company owner or CEO has, it's not as likely that you're going to find those traits in suit in your friend or even in a family member. I mean, while it is possible, I don't think the same level of those character traits exist, because of course they live very different lives. So I think not only is it important to pay attention to those traits, but also just what it is that the person does as well. Because while it is important, again, to kind of use those traits to level yourself up as a person, you also need to consider in what realm that's happening. Because some people just may be amazing people, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, of course, definitely connect to those people. They're awesome to have in your life either way. But I think if you're trying to, talk to them about whether it be business or art or anything of this sort that maybe they're not familiar with, there's going to be a little bit of a disconnect there. So I think it's just important to, have that in the back of your mind, even with the people that you already have in your life. And as I'm sure you may have experienced already, that could be the case. So yeah, just really taking the time to kind of evaluate the people that you have in your life right now, see kind of where those people have helped shape you into who you are today, and kind of how they can help you move forward while you are looking for some of those other people that have some of the traits that you're really looking for right now. Last but not least, I thought this was a great way to sum it up, but the last one is motivation without action leads to self-delusion. And I know this is kind of intertwined with some of the early ones as well, but I wanted to make them just a cohesive list of 5 takeaways. Of course, there is so much more information that you can get from this book. I highly, highly recommend it if you haven't read it already. I will leave it linked down below as well so you guys can go check it out. But yeah, I mean, as I kind of already mentioned before, if you're not putting in the right actions, if you don't have that persistence and that consistency towards what it is that you're trying to build or grow, then you're not going to see the results that you're looking for. And I will be the first one to tell you, look, I have done that for far too long, and I wish I had done differently. Because if I had, then I definitely would be in a very different place right now. But unfortunately, we can't change the past. We can only move forward from here. So I'm just really excited to move into this new year, just reevaluate my goals, kind of how I want to approach things, what it is that I really, really want to accomplish this year. And yeah, I'm just super excited to have you guys as a part of that journey, and I can't wait to just keep on growing. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Feel free to give it a like and subscribe down below. But until next time, stay motivated, be inspired, and don't forget to encourage others.